So next, let's see, without any more theory, just download the Scala and set it up on your VM box, and I will show the installation for your Windows machine as well. Okay. Yeah. Your Scala can be downloaded from scala-lang.org, this website. So based on so before even doing this, so few people asked me yesterday to help in setup of the VM itself. Okay. So to install, yeah, I mean, many of you might be knowing this, but please bear with me for 5 to 10 minutes. Let me cover for them as well. So to install your virtual machines for practicing your Hadoop or Spark sessions, you can go with, mainly I can suggest 2 options, either with Virtualbox or with Cloudera. This is purely up to your interest, but my strong recommendation is towards the Cloudera. The reason is it provides the GUI also for your practicing. At least during your practice sessions, it would be better if you have the GUI as well, graphical user interface. From Virtualbox sandboxes, you will not get that GUI. So that's one another reason people who are coming from other Windows-based or Mac-based machines, suddenly working on the terminal without any GUI, face bit difficulty. Okay, so that's the reason I recommend to go with Cloudera VM. Or the other option is that you can have a plain Linux. So I think Subbu was trying it out. So he was telling that he was installing all the packages one after the other, and he was trying to explore the admin activities as well, which might not be interest for everyone. Mostly for developer roles, you don't need all those things. Okay, any plain Linux OS and installing each of these packages one after the other. So plain Linux OS meaning under this, again, my recommendations are either Ubuntu or CentOS, okay, or Red Hat or HCL. Okay. So yeah, my recommendation is very least towards this. Okay. Either go with Cloudera, or in the worst case, if you're in your organization already, if you guys are using Virtualbox, go with Virtualbox. Okay. Now there is not much difference. Okay, don't worry. The coding will not differ based on your distributions. It will not differ. It will not change. Okay. So download the Cloudera QuickStart VM. For this QuickStart VMs, so even though there are many versions of these things, so my recommendation is to go with the latest version of the QuickStart VM. So currently the same CDH 5.7 is available, which was used for our previous training batch also. Okay. So it asks you to fill up some of these details. Now while downloading this 5.7, you have to select your platform. So to run your virtual machines, these are the softwares that can support your virtual machines. So most of you might be knowing the VMware Workstation or the Oracle's Virtualbox, even the Docker image. This is also an open source tool, the Docker image. KVM, I'm not sure whether many people know it or not. So, and again here, so it's up to you either to go with VMware Workstation or VirtualBox. For Windows-based operating systems, you'll find VMware Workstation 11 or above more suitable. And for Mac-based operating systems, VMware Fusion will be there. It is not Workstation. VMware Workstation 10 or 11 for Windows. For Mac-based VMware Fusion, okay, 5 or above, I think. This is a licensed one. It asks you to enter the key. Okay. One thing that you can do is, if you already not having in that, I can share that VMware downloadable file also, and I can give you some set of keys for them. You can set up your VMware Workstation with that. Otherwise, every 20 days or after completion of 20 days or so, every day it will pop up you with to enter the keys, license keys. Okay. So the other option is Oracle Virtualbox. Virtualbox from Oracle. So this is a completely open source. It's a free tool. Try to go with 4.5 or above releases. Okay, 4.5 or above versions from Oracle Virtualbox. So first you need to download these things, either of these two tools, and install it on your on your laptop, and then yeah. So for you guys, I will share at least the VMware Workstation. So this VMware Workstation and its serial keys, I will share it with I will give this. Okay, I place these two files on the Google Drive, so you can download and install it. Okay. So I think I have given access to everyone on this, or I will share the link again. 1 second. Yeah. Yeah, I use both VMware Workstation and Oracle Virtualbox. So in both of them, I use to maintain different versions of Cloudera QuickStart VMs. Okay, I'm maintaining CDH 5.4. So this is 5.4, and this is 5.5. I didn't download the latest one, 5.7, but you guys can play. I do have a 5.3 as well. Okay, 5.3 and 5.4.2 as well. So whichever feels like, I mean, if there is any integration issues or there is any version issues, I will try with the different versions. And if it's confirmed with that version problem, yeah, we can report either back to the Cloudera's community, or we can always have an alternative, right? So that's the reason I maintain different versions. But this is up to your wish, okay? But the basic combination, the bare minimum combination I have given you, VMware Workstation 11 and its supporting serial keys. First install that on your machine and download the VMware flavor of. Again, yeah, some people did the same mistake. So they downloaded this QuickStart VM. By default, they might be selecting any one of these things, and if it is not matching with your VMware workstation on your Windows, you will not be able to run. So what I observed from past is, like, some people downloaded it for VMware, and on their Windows machine they have installed VirtualBox, and they tried to load that VMware QuickStart VM on the VirtualBox machine. Okay, so if you ask for download it, you need to fill in these basic details, then you will be able to download it. And once you download it, you can differentiate that whether it is downloaded it for VMware workstation or for VirtualBox. Okay, something similar to this. You will find a .zip file in your downloads. This is for 5.4 Cloudera QuickStart VM -VMware.zip. If it is for VirtualBox, you can find something similar to this. Okay, -virtualbox.7g. So at least with that, you should be able to identify, and you should load that into appropriate machine. Okay. So in case if you need Oracle VirtualBox also, so I can give it, I can share it with you. Okay. So and again, I recommend mostly the VMware workstation itself. Yeah, but I equally use both of them. So once you download, these are anyway Windows setup files, right? Nothing fancy to explain you in the installation setup. Just click them and set up, click next, 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 until you don't need to take care of any further extra configurations while setting up, while installing it. Once you install, you will find a home screen. Okay, let's assume you have installed VMware Workstation. Since I have loaded these machines, I can see the extra tabs. Otherwise, this will be your home page. Once you install freshly, this left pane will be empty, and you will see something like this. Okay. So from your downloads folder, you will observe it like .zip files, VMware.zip file. So you have to extract this using any of your WinRAR applications. So you will get something similar to this folder will get created, this kind of folder. So you have to open that folder from your VM workstation. So open a virtual machine and navigate to that folder. Let's say, so whichever file that can be selectable, meaning .vmx files mainly, those only one file you will be able to find. So you can open it. Okay. As and when you open it, yeah. So it comes something like this. Since I already loaded, you can see this resume button. Otherwise, it will ask you to enter the properties for these things. Now, before even starting the VM, so what my recommendations are that try to give the RAM memory as much as possible for your VM. Okay. So here, while it is in pass mode, I can't edit these settings. Let me turn off this first. Okay. So this is how you can see that screen. For VMware key, does it valid for 20 only? The numbers that I gave you are valid for forever. Okay, so you can use it for them. So I place some files here, right? VMware keys. Yeah. So they will work for you. It will not bother you again and again. Now, so in this, before starting your VMware, before starting your QuickStart VM, so first change these memory parameters and the processors as much as you can allocate. If you have 8 GB RAM laptops, I can recommend up to 4.5 GB you can give for your QuickStart VM. And if you have at least minimum i5 processor, if you just have i3 or something, I don't think so. If you just have i3 processor, you can leave with one processor here. Otherwise, if you have at least i5, I would recommend to go with the number of cores per processor to give is 2. Okay, number of processors will always be 1 only, because you will have only one processor on your laptop, and the cores will be different. i5 means 5 cores are there. i7 means 7 cores are there, right? And allocate some enough amount of hard disk capacity for that. Okay, so you can allocate the expand disk capacity. So by default, it suggests you to some 5G, some 10 GB or 20 GB. I would recommend at least allocate 50 GB minimum. Okay, unless until you are short of your hard disk capacity. Okay, so try to give these values as much as possible. Okay, as high as possible. In case if you have 16 GB RAMs, you can give up to 12 GB or at least 10 GB RAM. If you have i7 processor, you can give up to 4 cores here, 4 or 3. And if you have 1 TB hard disk, you can even give the 100 GB hard disk capacity. Okay, so set these settings first, then you can power on this virtual machine. So it will start loading your CentOS for you. So by default, your Hortonworks VMs or Cloudera QuickStart VMs, they use the CentOS operating system from Linux distributions. It is similar to RHEL based one .rpm installations. Okay, so let it get loaded. I hope no one is having any difficulty till this level, right? If you have any questions, you can either ask, you can ping me in the chat.
Shiva?
Yes, Nanta.
I have like whatever the previous setup I had, we can still work on that, right?
That is Hortonworks based, right? You had that.
Sorry?
Hortonworks based?
I think no, I have Cloudera too on Virtualbox. I think
it was 5.3.
Yeah.
5.3, okay, no issues. Only thing is you will have a older version of Spark.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, explain how to set up the latest versions of Spark in case if you have. First of all, I will explain the setup of Spark so that you can set up any version of Spark on your VM. Okay?
Yeah, because if that goes again with my previous experience, again I have
No
to
need.
spend.
No need. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. So I will
Thanks.
show the Spark installation setup procedure and as well as Scala installation steps, so that whatever may be the background your CDH version, but you will always be using the higher version of your.
Okay. Because I've heard that if I use the higher version, it's the more memory issues and other things. That's why I don't want to.
It's not like that, Mamta. I mean, 5.4 had some issues. Still, I don't
Mm-hmm.
recommend any people to go with CTH 5.4 and its sub-releases. 5.3 is one of the stable one. Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
do agree that. That's why I still uses 5.3. You can see here, I have still the CDH 5.3, and on top of it, I installed my Spark as well. Okay,
Okay.
but
Okay.
try with the latest CDH 5.5 or 5.7. From people's feedback, what I observed is that it is not that worse as 5.4.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
5.5, but 5.7, I didn't see any much.
No, I don't change anything. I will just work with 5.3.
Okay, no issues. Okay.
There will not be any issues, right? As you said that I just have to install.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Correct.
for your proof, I'm still using 5.3. Okay,
Okay.
I will show you on that.